back online with Magical Market Series. We just commented the 5th turn of the modern tournament with a good, interesting game between Manuel Suter and Mark Invernizzi, with Suter with an interesting Esper Delve deck that we want to know with Invernizzi, with a UR twin, and now we are gonna enter in the 6th turn of 8, and we will host another match, another feature match for 2 players, probably doing 5-0 or something like. And the tournament is going quite in the right direction, with a quick I mean, it's going everything quite fine here, and so we hope to have fix the problem, because there's we pray and we are in Rome, so we have to pray. So we're not far from the Vatican, so we try to
it's the right place to
it's
play.
a right place to play. So in the meantime, we will keep talking about these days. We are in Rome. We have today the modern tournament. Tomorrow, starting from the morning, we will start the legacy tournament, and Sunday we will have the vintage main event as the standard main event. So both of these 4 main events will be the first steps of a Magical Market Series. The first Magical Market Series points these points will be in a leaderboard that will decide the top 32 for every format to go on the finals in Catania. So basically, what's happening today is the competitors of the modern tournament are playing for cash account on their Magical Market private accounts, and for 2,000 euro for the first classified. So we are big prizes, and 170 players to contend these prizes. Same prices for the legacy tournament and for the vintage and for the standard. So it's a weekend that will assign very important points, prizes, and I think a lot of prestige to the players. We're gonna win this Magical Market Series first events, and we're in location in which there are also some vendor and some a lot of vendors. So if you wanna join us, only to sell your cards
Yes.
and buy other cards. It's an ideal place.
Good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are good influence for this first tournament, because this is Friday. Don't forget this. So 100
can satisfy
150
57, 58, yeah.
58 players, and so we are waiting to the next round. I think the player who will be to 5-0 or 4-1.
Or something.
4-1.
We don't have the standing, actual standing. We can say that the third turn, after the third turn, the players, some name that is 9 points is Mark Vogt, or I mean Umberto Vuolo. That's something we'll know. Someone of you we surely know. Manuel Sutor that we saw playing in future match, and Angelo Cadei. He was on 2-1, I think 3-1 now.
Yeah, 3-1.
3-1. So for the Italian players, our Angelo is doing his job even today.
Yeah.
He's our Gianluigi Buffon of the certainty of the Italian team, and also Andrea Cibak was doing good, and Cibak is playing an infect deck, and instead Angelo is playing UR Twin, and other notable players. We have Tommaso Badiali playing RG Zo Nagro deck, and we have Ciro Bonaventura that went good at the last GPs. He is playing UR Twin. I mean, other players that you may know, talking about Italian foreign players. Faina, that is well known in Italy, but not in the foreign country.
No, please.
Team Gerber is playing junk. So anyway, the metagame, we are trying to do a quick breakdown of the decks because we don't have
we don't
powerful
have
means.
Yes, not all the number of the tournament yet, but we can give you an idea about the meta breakdown.
Yeah,
because
there's no. I mean, the one thing we can immediately say, it's that there's not the prevalence of, abs and decks or or JR Tron that everyone expected after the ban and restricted list that banned Treasure Cruise, and there's a lot of UR Twin, because UR Twin is a strong deck. UR Twin is a deck that doesn't care much of the metagame, because he got a combo, he got control elements, he got Blood Moon, he got some electrolyze, he got some silver bullet that he plays good against almost everyone.
Also as sometimes a B plan that is a good variation.
Even if there
we was talking about the black.
Exact. This morning we were talking about this version of Twin with black, with Tazigur and Kozilek, Inquisition of Kozilek, that are good. For me, it's a good version of Twin because you have another plan, another recovery, and you have a 4/5 that you can block with big beasts. We've seen that Mark Invernizzi, as soon as Suter played a creature bigger than 2/2, 3/3, is going into inevitable problems. And this black version, the other version is the Goith version of with the green, obviously. So URG Twin with Goith, with Wild Slash, and is a version that is even that version is good because it can go fast with the Tarmogoyf. It can tap the blockers with Pestermite and act like a Canadian in Legacy format. I mean, putting a Goyf and removing everything getting rid of everything can stop the Goyf to go back to back. So David, what you think of this metagame, of the fact that everyone playing Twin practically choose the UR version? Is for the Blood Moon, you think?
Well, Blue Red Twin is basically the most solid deck at the moment because it doesn't really care about what the opponent is playing, what the opponent is doing. He has the turn 4 kill, and it's like more streamlined, less complex than any other color. It doesn't take too much damage of lands. The mana base is solid. You can play Blood Moon main deck. So it doesn't really care about anything else going on. Everything else is like a metagame choice. Like if you do expect Armagoyf to be useful in the metagame as basically a 2 mana wall or a way to beat your way through the opposition, then go for it. But the fact that most players in today decided to play blue-red, and also in the Pro Tour, like in the Pro Tour, blue-red twin had the most success with 2 players in the top 8, and he eventually won the tournament. So I suppose it's just the most solid and safe deck choice.
So is the Blood Moon real strong in that metagame?
I do think Blood Moon is a great card in this metagame. It shuts down a few decks by itself. Loads of decks have to give concessions to Blood Moon, like playing a few basic lands, thinking about fetching, thinking about mulliganing.
Yeah.
I mean, Blood Moon turn 3 is a very solid play.
Yeah, I'm noticed reading the deck list that we lack of a deck that personally I like a lot, that is Bloom Titan. I think that there's a very few, or probably no, Bloom Titan. Two of them.
Only two of them.
Only two Bloom Titan. I think is a pretty good deck. This is a deck that particularly suffers a Blood Moon.
Yeah.
But it's so fast that we can read of the opponent before he can play a Blood Moon effectively. I mean.
Yeah, basically, it's probably the fastest combo.
Yeah.
The fastest combo in the metagame.
Yeah.
It's, I would say, quite difficult to master. It's easy to play, but very difficult to master. Most people see it as not very consistent, like too dependent on Amulet.
Yeah. Turn 1 Amulet.
Turn 1 Amulet is basically, it can lead to turn 2 kills or turn 3 kills.
Anyway, it puts you in the right direction.
Yeah, it puts you in the right direction. I think the deck consistency is mostly about finding Amulet turn 1, or eventually digging for it with Ancient Steerings and playing it on turn 2, and bounce land into Bloom and a few lands and a Titan.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the success the deck had in the Pro Tour is mostly due to the fact that he was kind of underrated, kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
Played well, and
But aside from Pro Tour, Pro Tour is a very particular tournament because you have many teams that choose to play a deck, and they develop that deck, and they bring all the components of the team the same deck, or quite the same deck. So the Pro Tour, in terms of prediction of metagame of normal tournaments, is not so predictive, because everything happening here is that they develop a deck. So speaking of normal tournament, we say that this that Bloom Titan, that in fact that there's a quite good and strong variety of decks, and I think that after the band with Treasure Cruise band, no one can predict that this variety of decks and this format is going interesting, because everyone predicted, okay, will be an Abzan format, a Siege Rhino format with Tron, with Eugene and some Beast. Okay, so these two deck and Affinity maybe to be the other.
Well,
instead, there's
when I went through the deck list, the first 9 deck lists in alphabetical order were 9 different decks, which is in a way the issue with Modern at the moment. Like, you only have 60 card main deck and 15 sideboard cards, so you literally cannot beat everything. Yeah. And that's why most people rely on solid deck with generic solutions, or a solid deck with a generic good combo, which is the reason why in a metagame various people choose to play decks like Twin, or decks like Junk, because Twin is overall solid deck with permission and a solid combo, and junk is an overall solid deck with discard spells, solid creature, and solid removal. So that's pretty much the reason
Yeah.
why the metagame shifted that way. But also, like, there's no decks that are not completely shut down by singleton cards. Like, for example, if you decide to play a deck that doesn't really care about what the opponent is doing, like, for example, Amulet Bloom or Affinity or Storm or Infect, I mean, you can easily be shut down by, for example, sideboard cards like, or main deck cards like Blood Moon, or sideboard cards like Stony Silence. And so many players, they just don't want to auto lose by a single card. Or if you want to play a deck like Infect in a format with Lightning Bolt and Path to Exile, I mean, it is much more popular than what I expect it to be. Because I would expect people to be actually scared to play their way through decks with 6 to 10 spot removals.
Yeah. Everything is. I think that the question at the moment is, it's a random format in which everyone plays what you want to play, and this justifies this variety of decks, or the format is evolving, and people are trying to play different decks to find different solution, and not to do in the format fork and.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, sorry, just an update. Now there is an investigation during a game.
Okay. So
in
there
the
is
fifth turn of Swiss still now. So they need some other minutes to close this investigation.
Okay, so we
So
have a
yeah,
little
we're
delay.
running. We're just in.
So
we're just running
we have to wait.
slightly late. Yeah. To answer the question, basically, the modern format has always been about variety of decks, and the fact that there is a lot of variety of decks doesn't really mean that all those decks are good.
Yeah.
The fact that a lot of people, for example, choose to play decks like Merfolk, or decks like Boggles, or decks like Hate Bears,
Yeah.
or like niche decks, doesn't
Yeah.
really mean that those decks can actually win tournaments.
I think that the real difference in constructed format from modern, from legacy and vintage, is the quite total absence of counter spells.
Yeah, it's basically there's no full-on control decks.
Yeah. So you cannot face a real control deck, because the only quite control decks is you are twin, or there's some
Just blue, white, red,
yeah,
blue, white, red
or
control.
Esper control, but there aren't the real
They're
strong
not
control
proper.
deck.
They're not proper, strong, solid.
Yeah,
control
because
decks.
and so that goes and gives to and the other side, there's no very strong combo decks, so you can but you cannot face, for example, being into the example of legacy, you have on the side Miracle, and on the other side Ant, Ad Nauseam Tendrils, that are the two decks in which you have to deal, and you cannot build a deck that cannot consider these two decks. So you are quite limited in your choice, and because otherwise, if you lose from counterbalance and top, or you lose from a turn 2 kill, you don't have a competitive deck. So instead, in modern, there's not a real control deck. There's not a real combo decks. So everyone can play a quite wide range of decks without having matchups like 2080 or
Pretty
something
much.
like that.
I would say.
Yes, this is MKM series, Harley Quinn, and we are
We're
waiting.
currently waiting for round 6.
We are waiting for round 6 to start, 6 of 8.
To answer your question, the most solid combo deck in modern is by far Splinter Twin, which does have a turn 4 kill, but it's mostly a control combo deck. I mean, it's a tempo control combo deck. Like, it does have to survive until turn 3 to tap your land, or end of turn just play a combo piece, untap, and play the other combo piece on turn 4. But it's not like a combo deck in the combo sense. Like, it doesn't have tutors, it doesn't have a very strong card drawing engine. It basically has like just cantrips, and it can act like a control deck with remands and mana leaks. Well, not a real combo deck, yeah. Amulet Bloom, we spoke about it before. Splinter Twin is a combo deck with basically 2 combo pieces, and one of them is a 4-of with no tutors. Infect is the closest thing to a combo deck. It basically replaced Storm. But basically, all these combo decks, they're kind of creature-based decks.
Yeah.
What Pietro meant by a proper combo deck, he basically meant something like Storm. Storm is pretty much non-existent in the metagame. There's one Storm deck in the room today out of 160. So obviously the way you beat Infect is the way you beat every other deck, by basically killing a 1/1 with a Bolt or a Path to Exile. So obviously your deck is probably playing Bolt or Path to Exile or Abrupt Decay or any other card.
You don't,
so you don't
I
really
mean,
have to.
what I mean
like,
is, you don't have to adapt your deck to the
those
presence,
strategies.
because you play anyways Lightning Bolt, you play anyways Electrolyze, you play anyways Path to Exile. I mean, there are cards that don't fit. I mean, to play against Storm deck, you have to put there like 8 cards that probably do nothing without the rest of the deck. So this kind of thing, I think that switches the metagame
into a metagame in which you're able to play any mid-range deck.
Yeah.
If your deck contains spot removals
You can
and
play
creatures, you can actually play your deck in Modern.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the the morale of the story. It's like, you can play a deck with Bolts or Path to Exiles and creatures, or you can play a deck with Abrupt Decays and discard spells. Pretty soon, I think. They're just waiting for an investigation to end, because there was an investigation going on in round 5.
I think that in 10 minutes we'll start round
we
6.
should be able to start in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So basically, and on the other hand of the spectrum, there's not a real control deck. Like, we used to have Blue Moon a couple of Pro Tours ago. We did have Blue White Red Control. It won in Valencia.
Yeah.
But I mean,
They lack something.
they just lack something. I mean, they lack a proper card drawing engine. They lack proper good counter spells, like a 2-mana hard counter. So basically, how can you face a deck playing 4/5s on 2 manas, 5/6 for 2 manas, or 4/5 for 1 mana delve, or you're just gonna be so far behind if you try to play a proper control deck. And people don't really have to adapt to a control an extreme control deck or an extreme combo deck. That's what he was trying to say. So basically, that's why you see flourish all these decks like Junk and Jund and Merfolk and Gruul Aggro and Zoo, 8 bears and tokens. That's basically a
wide variety.
There's a wide variety. But if we had to say the most popular decks today, Blue White Twin, followed by Blue White Red Control, Blue White Red Control with Kikijiki to combo off with the Angel. Burn, obviously.
Yaddo, we starting to play in 5 or 6 minutes, because there were an investigation on a player on turn 5, so we are waiting for the 6th turn to begin, and 6th of 8, and I think we start in 5-10 minutes, but we'll keep you updated. Now we are quite terminated the deck breakdown do by our Paxu that now is, so we can be precise on the deck deck that the 160 people played here in Rome for the first day of the Magical Market series. and yes, but the tournament is started at uh, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, something like that, and we are on the fifth turn. Yeah, so we terminated the fifth turn. So it's not so delayed. I mean, we have this problem of an investigation on this turn. Okay. So
Okay, we should be nearly good to go.
No, they are still investigating,
still
because
investigating.
there was a big problem with the two moments of the game, not just one but two. So I think that
Yeah.
one of the player of this match will have game loss or match loss for the.
okay.
Yeah. So
So they are telling us that the investigation is going deeper
just have to wait.
because the reconstruction of the situation of play was quite difficult. So what basically we're gonna do now is to give you a complete deck breakdown of the decks, so you can we can talk real numbers. But I think I'm gonna say in general is that the lack and the quite absence or a restricted number of Bloom Titan and also Living End, that is a deck that I like very much.
There's no living ends.
There's no
in
Living
the-
End
in the whole room.
yeah, and Living End is a deck that I like very very much.
There's
But probably Living End is fearing some
Graveyard hate,
graveyard hate and
which
basic-
doesn't really exist. I mean, there's no specific hate for graveyard. There's no specific hate for storm. We do have kind of accurate
Okay,
metagame breakdown.
Okay, so we have on Sunday we stream basically Vintage for your joy. The breakdown is UWR control for 17 UR twin, 8 Grixis deck, 6 Infect,
Oh, there's a lot of junks.
a lot of junks,
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21,
21 junk, five
white blue throne.
white blue throne, 2 black white token, 3 Zo, 8 merfolk, 2 scape shift, 17 barn decks, 3 dredgevine, 2 ad nauseam, 5 affinity, 2 amulet combo, 2 jand, 10 rock decks.
So basically, we can say that
4 RG Tron, only one 8 bear. That is strange because 8 bear is really strong. Built-in pod is a strong deck anyway. But anyway,
So
to
basically,
go.
if today
So the
you
metagame is
came to Rome, right? Your deck should have been able to beat Junk, which is 21 decks out of 160, Burn 17 decks, and Blue Red Twin 17 decks. If your deck was able to play well against Burn, Blue Red Twin, and Junk, then you would be, let's say,
Able.
good about against 60 out of 160 people. That is the problem with the format. I mean, the 3 most common deck decisions, the deck choices, only cover 60 out of 160. I mean, it is not enough, like, to guarantee you a result in your tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be okay against these decks and only play like 3 out of 8 rounds.
Yeah, we didn't talk before about Barn. Yeah, obviously Barn is a strong deck because he got the Eidolon, that is a pyrostatic pillar with legs. He got Skullcrack, that is strong. he got monastery sweeps here. He got strong, very strong cards and very strong interaction between the cards. So burn is obviously and will be, it will remain very strong choices. And obviously now the field is gonna be this one, because junk is a deck that you can you can win practically with everyone, and you can, I think, lose with everyone, because with junk you have to do the same things all the time. You have to do you have to get a Liliana. You got to have a beater. I mean, the things. These are the decks. People try to play the decks that are consistent. They are redundant. So you don't have different games, because a game if you are twin, you have pretty the same card, junk and burn. So the four pair decks. And so there are also 6 podless. That is the deck, the Melira pod without pod. So they try to. But I mean that I think that the podless pod, it did some good result, no?
It does have ways to combo off, kind of. But basically, let's say the main issue about modern is, if you slice your cake into percentage, if you slice your metagame cake into percentage, you're probably gonna see something like 15% is the most common deck, which is junk, and about 12% blue-red twin, 12% barn. So, I mean, these percentages just tell you that you could just go into a tournament and not play against any barn, or not play against any blue-red twin, or not play against any junk. So you might literally just walk into a tournament and you've got your deck which plays well against, the most common decks, and then you just play against black-white tokens, or scape shift, or mono green, or ad nauseam, or affinity, or some other.
We have some good news. The turn is finished, and so we have the pairings for the 6th turn. Okay, and
we can tell you who is 5-0. That are only Emanuel Sutor, that we've seen with Jesper Delve, Paolo Magnani, that maybe someone knows, Mark Vogt, and Kronberger Niklas. The match we're gonna see is between Mark Vogt and Kronberger Niklas. And now
we're gonna let you know in a second.
No, there aren't Blue Moon. No.
Hold on.
No Blue Moon. There's. Afterwards, I want to talk to you about the Dredgevine. That is a deck that I love a lot. There are 3 of them, but there's no Blue Moon. There are 6, in fact.
Okay, we do know what the guys are playing.
Okay, so Mark Vogt.
Vogt is playing blue-red twin.
Blue-red twin for Mark Vogt.
And
Niklas
Kronberg is playing Merfolk.
And Merfolk. So you are blue-red twin against Merfolk. Is a counter war.
Basically, if I had to pick, it would be tough, but I would definitely go with the blue-red twin.
Yeah, because
if I had to decide on what side to be, and we do have the deck lists as well.
Okay, so I will tell you about the list of Merfolk deck. That is Niklas Kronberger. He's a 5-0 in this tournament. He plays obviously 4 Ether Vials, 4 Spreading Seas. He plays 2 Monastery Siege. That is a very strong card. Because Monastery Siege, if you choose, I think Dragons, all the spells that target your permanents cost 2 more. So every Electrolyze, every Bolt, it costs 2 more, and the combos with a Scar Sketcher, with I mean, the other denial of Merfolk, and he facilitates the work while you're beating down with your Merfolks. He plays 3 Vapor Snag, 4 Silver Gill Update, these are the classic cards, 2 Phantasmal Images, 3 Master of Waves, and this is quite classic with 2 Cavern of Souls, quite classic Merfolk list. He doesn't play many counters or anyone at all.
How many main deck answers to the combo?
Yes.
2 Dismembers.
Yeah, 2 Dismember.
3 Vapor Snag.
3 Vapor Snag. You have 5 response to the combo, and basically 4 Aether Vial for, but he cannot do much. He's a quite beating list of Merfolks.
Okay, so going quickly through the twin list, it's basically straight blue-red twin. It does have a Stomping Ground, no Tarmogoyfs though. The Stomping Ground is only to play a Nature's Claim and Ancient Grudge from the sideboard. So basically, it does play a green source. It does not play any green cards besides Nature's Claim and Ancient Grudge in the sideboard, which is something that it's quite common to see. The way the matchup that plays out, I do think Merfolk has to be on the beatdown side and try and finish things quick, possibly with a backup.
Even because the list of Nicholas is very beatdown list. It doesn't have it doesn't play counter spell. It doesn't play any contrast. It only these. I think that if it's not able to see Monastery Siege, it will difficult to beat your twin, because with Electrolyze, with other things, he can really get the control of the board. Or you can start without a Monastery Siege, but very fast, with a turn 1 Aether Vial, turn 2 Lord, Vial, and so on. And yeah, I agree with you, Kumafede. Obviously, Merfolk is way better than 8 Beers, but I think that 8 Beers against Junk with a Noxodon Smiter in response to a Liliana is not a bad deck. And since 20 people plays Junk, but anyway, yeah, Merfolk without any counter spell is a bit unsafe. I agree with you, but and
it does have 5 answers.
It's a choice.
I mean, the way the matchup should play out is basically the Merfolk player being on the beatdown side, trying to play a few lords and more lords and more lords, and then just finishing the game before Twin can actually combo off, which might actually be difficult to do, because Twin can literally just combo off on turn 4, and then it's so much better if you do have one of those 5 cards to actually stop the combo.
I think we are about to start. On the left we have Vogt, that he plays UR Twin, and on the right of you Cronenberg with Merfolk. And now we are doing the ends. We see the end of now Vogt.
Splinter Twin?
He has Splinter Twin.
It does have Slate of Hand, Peak.
Well, he starts.
He does say go. He's probably gonna have a look.
Yeah, Land Vial. Okay. He got another Vial in hand as a backup. He has a Curse Catcher. He has a Lord.
He decided not to play Slate of Hand turn 1, didn't he?
Who? The
Blue-Red Twin did not play Slate of Hand turn 1.
Yeah. Yeah. He's probably gonna...
Peak, I think.
Yeah.
He's probably just gonna peek end of turn.
Yeah.
He's not. He's actually not playing Slate of Hand turn 1.
He played the fetch land, and now we will see that...
Or maybe that card is actually not Slate of Hand.
You see that the other deck is probably a Merfolk. He did fetch.
I do think this card is Slate of Hand. The second card from the left is a Slate of Hand.
Yeah.
He decided not to play Slate of Hand turn 1, which is quite strange. Let's try and have a look. I can see a Dismember. I can see a Dismember, so that means he cannot the twin player cannot combo out safely.
Yeah. He plays another vial.
No.
Remand.
Okay, basically, I like this play because what he's trying to do is just
Slow him down.
cycling off his remand because he does know remand against a vial deck is probably not gonna do much.
So he played another land and the second vial, and now he's fetching for another dice to put a counter. So basically, the player with UR twin
Serum vision.
is trying to take time, but he have a few lands, and is now trying to probably serum or we don't see the land now. Curse catcher end of turn. Yeah. And now we will able to play a lord. He's charging obviously violet 2, violet 1. And he's drawing another
He does
curse
have curse catcher number
another
2,
curse catcher.
which is okay. Okay, it does have a lord, a curse catcher to these members.
Yeah. To this map.
Is he gonna try and
He got two of
and lord
of his,
number 2
yeah.
and lord number 1 before damage? Okay, too much camera switch. Okay, so that's an Exarch.
Yeah. He played an Exarch to block the curse catcher.
I do like this.
Yeah, obviously.
I do like the attack because what he's trying to do is just flashing the lord in play, which basically gives him island walk as
Yeah.
well. And he decided not to dismember here.
No.
So it's basically he does know there's no red mana. There's no red mana on the board, so he cannot really splinter twin on turn 4.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure if I like this play. I'll tell you why. Because if you see a first red source on the board, you can actually hope for the twin player to go 4 mana splinter twin and get a really good advantage out of your dismember. But the fact that there's no possibility of that happening basically doesn't give you a real advantage of waiting to actually play your dismember. You're only giving the twin player a chance to draw cards like this spell.
Yeah. Now is Voctis.
And we do know that Vogt plays a singleton this spell.
Yeah. I think he played Electrolyze or
He does play is that a bolt? A spot removal on
Yeah.
the
It's a charm.
It's a charm. It's
It's
a charm
it's a
trying to
charm
kill
on
the
Lord,
lord.
and he in
Vapor Snag
response
gets rid of it.
Cronenberg
saves it.
saves it with a Vapor Snag going to 19. And now in the end of turn he will be able to put another curse catcher in play, but I think he'll not do it.
I'm not sure. I think he will. I think he will play. I think he will flash it into play. I would definitely flash it into play.
Okay, he plays it. And so you have
It's
Two-
2 extra damage anyway.
2 extra damages and 2+2 slowing of
Oh,
Cool.
maybe it's 3 extra damage actually. Yeah, that's exactly the way that the matchup wants to go. Flash a double lord into play, and then just hit for 6 basically. He doesn't actually flash his. Oh, did he put up this? Did he put it up to 3?
Yeah, he put up
Okay.
2
Yeah,
and
fair
3.
enough. Okay, so
Yeah.
he did put it up to 3. Drew into a 2 drop.
So he put the Lord in play.
It doesn't make a difference in the clock anyway.
Yeah, he put it Vogt to 12. Now at 2 attacks or 3 attacks from that, and he fetches him, and he puts obviously the land tapped into play. And now
Now, the Merfolk player has access to 2 dismembers. So he basically drew 3 out of 5 ways of dealing with the combo.
Yeah.
But if I was the blue-red twin player at this moment in time, I would expect.
Yeah.
Okay.
That pick is pretty good. But I was saying I would expect ways of dealing with the combo.
And this
'Cause,
is
if you see like a Vapor Snag to save your own Merfolk against twin, you can 100% say that that player has got something in his hand to actually
Yeah.
deal with the combo. Otherwise, he would never do that.
yeah. So with the pick, we've seen that our Cronenberg has 2 dismembers, not 1, 2 dismember. So you have to consider that before comboing out. So now he's probably gonna fetch his deck to find solutions, and he start with a Serum Vision, drawing 1 card and scry away with others, and plays a land. And now now it's not easy for him because he has
It's
two,
not easy to come out of
yeah.
this situation.
No, because you have 2 Island Walk attackers.
It's a bit late for Lavamancer, I think.
Yeah, this is a very strong answer against Merfolk.
It's a good turn 1 play.
Yeah.
Probably not a great turn 5 play.
Yeah.
In fact, it does get dismember. No, actually, the 1/4 gets
Obviously,
dismember.
because he got a Phantasmal Image that he can copy.
Yeah, obviously, the
with
Lavamancer can get rid of Phantasmal Image.
Yeah. But losing go around now is taking like
Well,
damages.
now he's gonna attack for 9. If he does play Phantasmal Image unanswered, he will.
I think he drew
he will
a
attack for
spreading
9.
seas. I think he drew a spreading seas. It is not so useful. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah, he does play
Yeah, he
Spreading
does.
Seas
He
on
does play Spreading
the
Seas.
only red source.
Yeah, this is strong against Splinter Twin combo. And in fact, Vogt's got Splinter Twin in hand. Now he's gonna play the Phantasmal Image
Yeah.
on the Lord as we
And
previewed.
swing for
And
9.
swinging for
9.
9, yeah.
Yeah, and Vogt is just ready to concede, basically.
Yeah. If you don't have
There is
something,
no. I don't think there's
I
any
think
out
there's no
besides
out.
Cryptic Common into I don't even know
Yeah.
what. Because he only has 1 red source. He only has 1 red source. So he could actually kill the Phantasmal Image, but it would still leave 2 attackers. Obviously, the life total is 3.
He's got to target in a way the Phantasmal Image. Snapcaster Mage.
Cycles, a Serum Vision.
No, he's not. He's got Snapcaster
Yeah,
Mage.
Snapcaster into Serum Vision.
Into Serum Vision.
That Serum Vision is
to
removed
put
anyway.
a block, but
Yeah.
this is not. I think it's not enough to deal. And
Well, you can get rid of the Phantasmal Image. The life total is 3 anyway. It's not 12.
it's not 12. Yeah.
It's 3. So it's basically dead on board. Because you cannot block those
Cool sketchers.
Ghost Catchers.
Yeah. He's getting 4 damages for a dismember on the Snapcaster Mage. That is the only real block. And he attacks with all things,
Yeah,
and
and that's it.
that's it.
So basically, game 1 played out exactly
As we
the
predicted.
way it should go for the Merfolk player. Like from his point of view, that's exactly what he wants to do. Put a few fast beaters down, a few lords, and hopefully a few answers to Splinter Twin. Just not to die on turn 4, which wouldn't even have happened. But it can always happen when playing against Twin.
Yeah, the Merfolk player, he had the perfect hand. We asked of him with 2 vials, with Lord, with Curse Catcher, and the UR Twin. He didn't have quick removals or a quick Lavaman. Maybe only a quick Lavamancer could have saved him. But anyway, The Merfolk player has got this member since the last since the very
Well,
beginning.
let's have a look at the sideboard. I want to see exactly how many
So,
further
The
answers to.
Merfolk player has a Chalice of the Void that I think will not go in. He has a Remand that surely will be played. 2 Spell Pierces surely you're gonna put into. Tidebinder Mage, not so
Definitely
you.
not.
No.
And he's got
Arcane
2
Circle.
spell guides.
He got 2 Spell Guides, but obviously we're gonna board in. I think
Yeah,
he's
spell
gonna.
guides is a good card. I'm gonna have a look at the sideboard of Miracle.